It was my privilege and honor to serve as the 88th president of the Rotary Club of Tucson. The theme that year for Rotary International was Make Dreams Real. And the logo was a picture of an adult cradling a child. And I thought how appropriate, because I was a woman and I was actually the second woman president of the club. 10 years previous to that, Katie Dusenberry had been the president. As I started out the year, there were some goals that I set up that I felt were important. The first one was that we were such a large club, I thought it was important that we get to know each other. And everybody has a very special story and has been on a special journey, and I thought that it would be a good way for membership satisfaction as well. The second thing is we had had our first car show the year before and wanted to see that to continue. It had a great start and helped the community, and we needed to move forward with that. The third thing was I wanted us to support international programs of Rotary, because that basically is a very large part of what we do. And the fourth thing was that I wanted to review and assess the procedures and documents of the Rotary Club of Tucson. And I really felt at the end of the year that we had done a pretty good job of doing that. For getting to know each other, previous to the year, Paul Harris Fellows were where people would be lined up and a pin would be handed to them and their name would be read and what pin level they had received. And I thought it would be a good way for us to have a brief bio and a quote from each of those individuals to learn more about them. And actually during my year, we did 71 Paul Harris Fellows, and so those people had an opportunity to be more exposed to the membership, to know about them. I also did something called Reflections About Rotarians, which was sent out each week by email to all of our members. There was not a week that went by that one of our members, or two or three of them, appeared in the newspaper or on the news channel at night or in a local magazine. And so I would write a little bio about what they had done, and the office manager would put their picture together, and this would go out to all of our members. I had encouraged members to bring their spouses the fifth Wednesday of each month. It was an idea I had gotten from the Casas Adobes Rotary Club, my husband's Rotary Club, that did the same thing. And that first July meeting, our speaker was the commander of the 12th Air Force. So we had, speakers that would be of interest to the spouses as well. So we also honored 22 of our members who had had perfect attendance for 5 years or more. And Tom Browning was the leader of the pack with 43 years. We also brought all of our honorary members to a meeting and did a little bio on them and gave them a special Rotary honorary member pin as well. There were activities to encourage family participation. For example, once we could not meet at the Doubletree, so we had the meeting at the city zoo. We did our prayer and our pledge and encouraged our members to bring their family members to the zoo, and a lot of them did and brought their children when they got to feed the giraffe and pet the rhinoceros, and that was very special. We also did a game for family night at the Sidewinders and had a Valentine party and did some other activities. One of our work projects was led by Norma Peel, and we painted and built shelves and cleaned all sorts of used books for a library at the University Medical Hospital, where patients and visitors could come in, and if they started reading a book and didn't get a chance to finish it, then they could take that book home with them. And it was also available to the staff of the hospital as well. And that was a good project. We had some excellent speakers. Joan McNamara was the chairman of our programs, and we had Steve Kerr, Lud Olson, Bishop Kakanis, Gabby Giffords, Chrissy Perham, who is a gold medalist. We even had the Tucson Boys Chorus perform for us at our holiday party in December. So the meetings, I think, were well appreciated by the membership. And as for the car show, it was a success again. Great opportunity for fellowship among our members, and we raised $90,000 that was returned to our community for projects. The third area I was interested in was participating in Rotary International programs. We did have an inbound student from New Zealand, and we had an outbound student to Brazil, which was Dave Gallagher's daughter, Megan. We helped with, through the district conference, we helped refurbish 2 schools in Ensenada, Mexico. And with our San Carlos project, our holiday parties, we wanted to leave something more. And so we built, in conjunction with the San Carlos Rotary Club, a library for Los Ranchitos library school. And again, built shelves and took a lot of books that were written in Spanish that we took down to donate to that library. Our membership donated $34,000 to the polio effort that year, and they donated $28,000 to other Rotary International programs. When it came to reviewing and assessing the documents of the club, we reviewed and updated the Articles of Incorporation, bylaws, established policies and procedures, which we didn't have before. We developed a sign-up sheet for members to choose their committees and make a commitment for contributions. And we also had a standardized form for committee chairmen to fill out at the end of the year for their transition meetings. So I thought those things, got accomplished during that year. When I think of the most inspirational things that happened that year, it was when Richard Clark, who was retired from the New York Metropolitan Opera, would sing the Star-Spangled Banner. And standing at the podium, I could look out and see our membership, and the looks on their faces were awesome. They were proud to be an American. His voice just resonated all the emotions that we had about being Americans, and that was very inspiring to me. For the most challenging thing that happened, I remember when Brett Houston, a member of our club, who is very revered, and took his own life. And this happened at the first meeting that I chaired in July at the club. And we had 2 people that gave wonderful eulogies. But after the meeting, one of the members came up to me and said, I can't believe you gave time in our meeting to someone who took their life. And I was devastated. And then about 5 minutes later, somebody came up and said, that's the most meaningful meeting I've ever been to, because you gave time for those eulogies for a very special member. And it was then that I realized you can't please everybody all the time. It was also difficult when we had a member that was proposed and made it through all the different committees, and when his name was published in our Rotarian newsletter, there was an objection to his membership that was legitimate, and he had to be told that he couldn't be a member of our club. And that was very, very hard. We started meeting in January monthly after the directors were elected to kind of build ourselves up as a team and to get our plans in order for the year. The returning directors were Gib Raymond and Joe Chitwood and Charlie O'Dowd, and of course past president Arnie Jacobson. And Scott Vaughn joined the board as well as the incoming president the following year, the president-elect. My other 5 members were so very special that at the end of the year, I gave them each what we called the Helen Middleton Red Rose Award for outstanding service to our club. When it was, the president gets to choose their treasurer, their secretary, and their sergeant of arms. And when I had to consider those people for those positions, I looked to the 3 people who didn't win the positions of director in December. And one of them was leaving town, so I did not choose him, but I chose Pat Zombush to be the treasurer, and he was incredible. He not only became the treasurer of the club, but he became the treasurer of the car show. And at the time, we were keeping our books in Clubmate, which was unsupported, and he changed it all over to QuickBooks during his year. I also chose Chuck Sawyer as the sergeant of arms, and he put together a team that made sure that the meetings would run well. He had a team that ran the audio visual, which we hadn't had before, and also someone who ran around with a microphone. I also chose Kathy Kitagawa as the secretary. I had not worked with her before, but she struck me as someone who knew how to dot her I's and cross her T's. She was incredible as the secretary. She put together a club office procedure manual, which had never been done before. She put together the policies and procedures, which had not been done before. And these are all things these people did in addition to their regular job descriptions. I also recognized Jim Lubinsky, who is our international director, because he personally was involved with the Wheelchair Nogales project and oversaw like 8 committees. He served on the Reading Seed Board, and he also served on the Car Show Leadership Board. And I also recognized Cindy Godwin, who was our community service director, and she also served in a leadership position on the Car Show and on the Reading Seed Board as well.
Charlotte, what are some of the things that you're most proud of?
I am most proud of working with and observing our members as they take on tasks and create new ideas and get jobs done. They are so passionate about helping others and making our community and our world a better place to live. And for me to observe that and to have their support as well was an incredible moving experience for me. For an incoming president, I would recommend go for it and have a great time. Take advantage of the trainings that are offered by Rotary International in our district. They're excellent, and they provide you with personal growth. Also in our club, the president who served 2 years previous to you can serve as your mentor, or you can choose another mentor. Mine was John Wong, and he was always there and responsive to the questions that I had, and you need a strong mentor. And then just go for it and just enjoy it. Before you know it, it'll be December, and then before you turn around again, it's June, and your job is done. I am eternally grateful for the opportunity, for the leadership opportunity I had to be the president of the club. Made many friendships that I still have today, and I have the highest respect for the work that our club members do. Thank you.